Bada bing, bada boom. You know what it is. 2023, the year of the geeks. Let's get it. First card back, UFC. We're at the Apex. It is Kelvin Gastelum versus Nassourdine Imavov. It's going to be a banger. Let's go. We're going to predict every single fight outcome from the bottom to the top. Let's get to it. Prelims to jump it off. Priscilla Cachoeira, 12-4. Coming out against Sergio Eubanks, 7-7. Let's go. This fight's gonna be at 135. I'm taking Priscilla Cachoeira, coming off 2 wins. Eubanks coming off a 3rd-round loss. Not exactly, stylistically not the best for Priscilla Cachoeira, but I think that she's gonna have enough to keep this up on the feet. Strike it out, get through the first round, and kind of do her thing. So she's riding off a knockout. So give me Priscilla Cachoeira in the first fight as an underdog. Dano, what are you taking first fight of the night?
I'm riding with Catchware as well. I think Eubanks with that much of a line, I believe. What was he? What was she? Minus 200 something?
Yeah, I think it's minus 200.
Yeah, I'm not trusting that. I'm going to be riding with the underdog.
Let's go. Goosey, what do you got?
I'm actually going to be on the other side here. I was definitely a little bit surprised by the Eubanks line. Maybe that is what it is. I couldn't find too much info on it, but I kind of feel like it's a little Vegas trap here. They want to make that Cachoeira line enticing. She's not the best grappler, and I think she's really going to struggle with Eubanks wrestling in this one. At 125, Eubanks has a lot more just power grappling. She can really hold girls down. She comes into fights in better shape. And I think that she will be able to get the decision win in this one. So give me Sijara Eubanks.
Let's go. Fishman, what do you got?
I'm gonna ride with Priscilla on this one. I just believe she hits hard. Like I've seen her hit hard. I'm gonna trust the hands on this one. But yeah, I mean, I think I kind of agree with Goose. The line's high, but could be a trap. But I'm just gonna trust her hands to connect.
Facts.
Let's get going.
Let's go. The next fight's a pretty good one. This is a good prospect bout here. We got Jimmy Fleck, 16-5, flyweight, coming out against Charles Johnson, 12-3. We've seen Charles Johnson, make his debut. He flew out to London to fight Muhammad Mokaev. Made a pretty good account for himself. Everyone thought that Mokaev could put him away quick, but he held his own, got all the way to a decision, which looks pretty good. Mokaev is a beast. Then he had that fight against Zalgas, my boy, the wizard Zumagulov. That was a very close fight that a lot of people thought he lost. Got the nod. Now we got Jimmy Fleck, who's kind of this like super offensive grappler type. Just a weird matchup. Because Mokaev was kind of the same thing. He was able to go to the bell with him. But Jimmy Fleck just kind of brings a more like brutal, damaging aspect to the game. So I think that this is going to be an interesting one, man. I think that we're really going to get to see Charles Johnson push to a different kind of point. And I'm interested to see if he can stay away from the submission and keep this one, in the green column. So I'm going to take Charles Johnson, but I'm super nervous. This is not a confident pick for me because Jimmy Flick's dangerous as shit. And Charles Johnson likes to play around in those positions. So I'm taking Charles Johnson, but like I said, not a good one. What do you got, Goosey?
Yeah, so looking into this fight, obviously the Charles Johnson line might be a little inflated, but I think if they fight 10 times, he probably wins 7. All right, of those 3 Jimmy Flick wins, 2 are definitely going to be by submission, so you could hedge with that. But we've seen him fight pretty elite grapplers in the UFC, Charles Johnson I'm speaking about, and he's done well. He's managed it. He's been able to get the decision both times. Mokaev is elite. Zalgas is a very good fighter as well. Not an easy day out. And Jimmy Flick, I mean, we haven't seen him in a few years now. He retired. He's coming back, but I think ring rust will be in play. Charles Johnson is a hard guy to submit. and I don't think that Jimmy Flick's going to do it here. So I think Charles Johnson's going to be able to go out and showcase the striking, keep it on the feet, and get a win in this one.
Let's go. Fishman, what do you got?
No, I agree with what you guys had to say. He is hard to submit, and I think if you could hang with Makayev, you're probably not going to get submitted by Flick. But to describe how active Flick is on the ground, he throws up about 7 submissions per 15 minutes. So I mean, he's real active. Charles Johnson could get caught in a submission, but I don't believe that's going to happen. I think Charles is going to let the hands rip, and yeah, hopefully it stays on the feet. I'm going with Charles Johnson.
Let's go. What do you got this one, Dano?
I like everything that you guys have been saying. I also just like the momentum that Charles Johnson's got going on right now. Coming off a win a little over a month ago. He is a high level fighter. And then we got Jimmy Flick, who's coming off of, I think, around 2 years off. So I just think that maybe not ring rust, but just the momentum and activeness of a high level fighter. I think Charles Johnson should be able to take care of this one.
Yeah, I mean, do you still have a lot of respect for this guy? Jimmy Flick hasn't lost yet in the UFC. Got a flying triangle win. So guy's definitely good, man. It's gonna be a good fight. We got a flyweight scrap. This one's gonna be a good one as well. This is a sneaky card right here. So we got Alan Nascimento, 19-6, coming out against Carlos Hernandez, 8-1. This one's super interesting. Alan Nascimento, super dope dude to watch fight. I mean, he's super versatile. Guy can throw up subs. He's got hands, different combos. He's very active. Fun guy. Let's see. Yeah, I'm probably taking Nascimento here just because of experience. He just beat Jake Hadley. It's a good win to have. I think Carlos Hernandez is pretty relatable to that. And for Carlos Hernandez, I mean, yeah, you have a pretty good win over Altamirano, which is, starting to look better and better as it is. But I just think that this is a full year turnaround almost. So, improvements can be made. I'm taking Nascimento. I'm just taking Nascimento. What do you got, Goosey?
I'm gonna take a chance on the other side here. He's sitting around plus 300. I think stylistically this fight's gonna be very close. I'll actually predict that this will go down to a split decision. And I mean, both guys are good. I think the striking Hernandez is gonna be tricky to figure out. And then Nascimento, I don't love his takedowns. I don't think that it's gonna be as easy to get to the ground as he will expect. And because of that, I think Carlos Hernandez is going to surprise him a little bit. And if I think it's going to be a split decision, I think Hernandez is going to do just enough to edge it. So that's what I'm going to go with.
Let's go. Dana, what do you got?
I'm riding with Nascimento. I think at age 31, especially just being like the middle of the tier, middle of the pack fighter, Nascimento being a 31-year-old guy, it's kind of right in the middle of his prime. So I'm expecting this is probably just about the best Nascimento we will see, and especially going on in the future. So I think we're going to get a good performance from him. If he loses here, bad news for him. Carlos Hernandez is on the come up. But like you were saying, CEO, he's got a lot of XP behind him, Nascimento. So I just think that will come into effect and hopefully not let us down.
Yeah, facts. What do you got? What do you got over there, front kick, Mr. Fist Pump?
Yeah, so I'm riding with Goose on this one. I'm picking Carlos plus 290 dog. So he lost his pro debut. He's undefeated since 8 straight. Lands at a good rate, 5.3 per minute. And the takedown defense, I don't think the takedowns are going to affect him. He's going to keep it standing. And I like the streak. I mean, he's hungry, lost his first fight, took it personal, and then 8 straight. Boom, let's go. Carlos Hernandez. I'm riding with the dog on this one.
Let's go. All right, we're getting straight into the next one. We got this one, I'm actually super excited for this one. And I'll tell you why. It's a 135-pound scrap. Mateus Mendonça, 10-0. This is the Brazilian guy with blue hair coming off the Contender Series. He's fighting Javid Basharat, 13-0. One of the twins. Man, dude, this is gonna be such a good fight. I kind of hate it, but I kind of love it because these are two guys I want to see, like, kind of get further into the rankings and whatnot. These are really fun fighters. But Mateus Mendonça didn't get to see much of him. All we know that he was 9-0 coming into the Contender Series. Absolutely blasted that kid on the big show for Dana White to see. I'm just like super pumped to see what they were gonna do with the kid. And then obviously this speaks to what they think about him going straight into the UFC to fight Javid Basharat. I mean, this is gonna be good, man. So, or is this the one that's already wait, which brother? Yeah, no. Okay. Yeah, this is the right one. Yeah, this is gonna be such a good ass fight, man. So I'm taking, Javid Basharat, but I mean, I'm not confident in this at all because Mendonça, I mean, the small piece we've seen of him, he don't know. I wouldn't be surprised, what I'm saying, if something crazy happens. So this one's just a really good one to sit down, watch some popcorn, or eat some popcorn and watch this one. So give me a Basharat, but barely. What do you got, front kick?
I think the lines are too steep for Basharat. I think it's a good idea to dabble in Mendonça, Mateus Mendonça. Uh, but yeah, I mean, like you said, we don't know if he's battle tested. We do know that Basharat is battle tested and could go deep. So, but yeah, I'm just gonna say a small dabble on a Mendonça finish early.
For real, bro. It's a good value pick. What do you got, Gucci?
Yeah, I do love this fight. These guys are gonna be throwing wild shit in there. And I'm gonna take Javid Basharat because I think he's a little bit more calculated. We saw Mateus Mendonça on the Contender Series come out, really throw caution to the wind and put himself in the fire. I think Javid Basharat will be able to manage that a little bit and use his grappling, use his full MMA game to kind of give him some problems in there, and then always a treat when you get one of those fights where it's someone's has got to go, especially on the prelims. So, I mean, kick back and just watch madness take place in this one. I'm personally going to pick Javid Basharat because I've seen more. I can trust him more. But Mateus Mendonça, I mean, from what I've seen, he's a problem in there. Javid Basharat's going to be the pick for me, though.
Yeah, looks like he seems like a guy that's just going to be a problem for anybody. Dano, what do you got?
I don't love the line. I think it's steep for Basharat, but this is also one of those fights where I kind of am not looking at the line just because I just think Basharat's going to win. I don't care if it's minus 500, 700, or minus 100. I think Basharat will get this one done. We've seen him excel in each part of his game, on the stand up, on the ground, and the jiu-jitsu. And Mateus Mendonça kind of, to me, is similar to Isaac Dolgarian, who we talked about earlier, just kind of his past fights. The guys who he has fighting have not been the highest of tier fighters. He does have that claim to fame for winning 7 fights in a month or something like that. Those guys didn't have the best record. I think maybe Mateus might be a little bit of a victim of his own success, coming in, debuting against a tough ass dude in Basharat who is legit. And I'm taking Basharat to prove me right and continue his undefeated streak.
Let's go. All right, we're moving into the next one. We've got a lightweight scrap. This one for me was not too much thought into this one. Mateusz Rebecki, huge stallion right off the Contender Series, coming off a huge, comeback finish in a sense. He not really a comeback, but lost like the first couple of seconds and then complete dominance. Coming out against Nick Fiore, 6-0. I mean, you go click Nick Fiore's thing. No disrespect to him, but I mean, he's 6-0, and 2 of his wins are against Jay Ellis. And if you don't know who Jay Ellis is, maybe we can throw up the edit so you guys can all find out his official MMA pro record, because he is a trooper. He is far below 500. I want to say
It's 16 and 106.
he's a trooper, man. So the fact that Nick Fiore, 33%.
He got submitted 69 times.
Okay. Yeah, tough. So yeah, I think one of the best contender series prospects is going to be Nick Fiore. And that's my wrap, man. No more to talk about in this one. So give me Rebecca. What do you got, Goosey?
I'm gonna take Rebecca as well. As impressive as those Jay Ellis victories are, I think that Mateusz Rebecca will be able to go out, show him something he hasn't seen before, and probably get it done early in this one. So Mateusz Rebecca inside the distance is going to be the pick for me.
Hey, man.
But in respect to Nick Fiore, I don't want to bash him. You can't really control who you fight. I don't know if he can or if he can't, but he's 6-0. He's beat everyone who's been in there with him. I personally just think Mateusz Rebecca is going to win.
Fair enough. Dano, what do you got?
Hey, Nick, who do you want to fight next? I want Jay Ellis. Jay Ellis, bro.
Twice, just to make sure. Just to make sure.
Yeah, Jay Ellis, Nick Fiore too. That was probably a pretty hype fight somewhere in the regional scene.
Well, Jay Ellis did pick up 7 losses in between those fights. So
he was warmed up. He was ready to come back. Now I'm taking easy one, taking Mateusz Rebecca. Not really looking too deep into it.
All right, facts. Fishman, what do you got?
Yeah, give me Rebecca. Line's crazy though, but yeah, give me go for a finish.
Yeah, I think inside the distance is a very palpable bet. So we're gonna move into the next one. This one's gonna be absolute fireworks, just because maybe we'll get a crazy version of this guy. We're gonna get Abdul Razak Al Hassan, 11-5, coming out against Claudio Ribeiro, who's 10-2. He's another guy coming off the contender series. Emphatic knockout, super athletic looking, meathead looking mother trucker. We got Abdul Razak Al Hassan, who's just built like a fucking absolute semi truck. So hopefully these guys stand down in the middle of the octagon and want to trade bombs, because that's how these guys have been fighting in the past. But I mean, we've seen glimpses of other wrestling and that kind of stuff. I'm gonna take Claudio Ribeiro, just because I think that he's gonna be a problem coming through this division. I think that his athleticism is crazy, and I just think that Al Hassan just hesitates, and he's just not as comfortable in the octagon as he could be, and even as young as Claudio is, I think that, that's his poise is just going to win him this fight. I think that he's going to keep distance and just kind of pick this guy apart. So, yeah, and I always remember Al Hassan, that terrible time he got turned into that stiff piece of plywood. So I just feel like, Ribeiro definitely has enough pop to put him away. So give me Claudio in this one. That's what I got. Fishman, what are you taking?
Yeah, I'm just gonna start off by saying I don't think anyone knows what's gonna happen in this fight. Total coin flip. The odds I think they're at pick'em last time I checked, but an actual pick'em where it's like legit. Someone could just go down at any moment. Also depends on how, like you said, how Abdul Razak comes out. Claudio, a little bit of a height advantage and reach advantage. Nothing too drastic, but I'm riding with Claudio.
Yeah, dude, he's got so many first round finishes. He's 10-2, and literally, I want to say, look, 4, 5, 6 of his last 7 wins are first round finishes. Goosey, what do you got?
First, I got the under in this one because I think someone's going down. They both have bricks in their hands. I'm going to take Claudio Ribeiro, though. I think if this does turn into a stand-up fight, he's a little slicker on the feet. I like the movement that I've seen from him. He was evading punches in what was a quick contender series bout. And I I've seen Abdul Razak El Hassan just sort of be on a rough streak lately. You know, I know it's hard to get the ball rolling again. Claudio Ribeiro's hot right now. He had a very impressive Contender Series performance, and I think he keeps it going.
Yeah. No, I think that he's had quite the lineup of opponents. I mean, not UFC doesn't really help this guy. What do you got, Dano?
I'm taking Claudio as well. I think they're kind of not necessarily feeding Abdul to him, but just Abdul's just definitely not what he used to be. He is 37 years old, and Claudio's got him in pretty much every category. He's younger than him, he's taller than him, he's got a bigger reach than Abdul, and he might not be heavier because Abdul is a big old dude, but Abdul does have that hesitation. He has that just not, he doesn't seem too aggressive in the octagon, whereas Claudio seems really, really aggressive. So I'm going to be riding with Claudio. You can't really trust Abdul at this point in his career, I feel like. So I'm not gonna.
Let's go. All right. Well, those are the prelims from the bottom to the top. Tune into the next video for the main card scoop.